Pregame.com.
Thursday baseball action, Philadelphia at the New York Mets. Brian, at the start of the season, it was supposed to be the first place Philadelphia Phillies coming into out of the All-Star break here while we're heading in. We're coming out of 4th of July. But Philadelphia's not played well this year. They've had problems, and obviously it's been a situation where they've had a ton of injuries, with their key players in the lineup hitting-wise. And pitching, I mean, Cliff Lee doesn't have a win. Holiday's on the DL. I mean, what are you going to do when you got to rely on Joe Blanton in your starting lineup to deliver? It's not going to be a good season. The Mets, on the other hand, they've been quite a surprise so far. I mean, a lot of people thought they would be somewhat improved this year, but I don't think anybody put them to this level. And is there a bigger surprise in baseball than R.A. Dickey?
Well, I liked R.A. Dickey coming into the season. You looked at his numbers from last year. He actually pitched very well. I think because he's a knuckleball pitcher, he doesn't get the respect that some of the others do. But I didn't expect what he's doing now. We never saw that, but he was a very good pitcher last year, the second half of the season.
He has just completed what may go down as one of the best all-time months of pitching that we've ever seen. Listen to these numbers. He went 5-0 in the month of June, ERA 0.93, 48-plus innings, 21 hits allowed. I mean, 48 innings, 21 hits. That's a remarkable number. 55 strikeouts and only 8 walks. I mean, he's throwing a knuckleball, but he's got total command of it. I mean, location, everything. This guy's got it all going. And yet, after all that, I'm going to take the over in this game. And we're going to go with a little old school here. And you've got Hamels, who's pitching well also. 13 of his 16 starts this year, he's given up 3 runs or less. Now, we're projecting this total to be 7. If it happens to be 6.5 because of the hype of 2 all-star pitchers going in there, I'm going to like the play even more. And that is the key. Both of these guys have been named to the all-star team. I don't know who the starter is going to be yet, but being that these guys are pitching on Thursday, there's a good chance one of these guys could be the starter on Tuesday night. I said old school. There used to be a scenario where you've got a pitcher. Hamels has been an all-star before, but this first time for Dickey, a mental letdown just because of the anticipation of pitching in the all-star game. I mean, let's face it, every kid when he's throwing catch in the backyard playing baseball, you dream of being in 2 things, an all-star game and the World Series. Here's a guy that's had a remarkable season, whirlwind season. You said he did pitch good last year, but he was off the radar last year. He's been front and center all year. I just think that all you need is one of these 2 guys not to have a stellar performance, and with a low total like this, we get the over.
If you've been handicapping totals this year, you know when 2 star pitchers get together like this, a lot of times it goes over because the teams know they got to be able to score any type of run they can because it's going to be a close game. We saw this just last week when he went up against CC Sabathia.
That game I enjoyed, by the way.
Yeah. At least you didn't get to eat the pizza because I'd want it back right after that. But it was a situation where, being from New York, that was probably his biggest start of the season. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be somewhat comparable with the All-Star game coming up, and now he's going up against Hamels before the All-Star break. If we do get a 6.5 here, I'm going to join you on this, on the over. I'm not sure we will, but we'll have to see. But Hamels is a pitcher. You take a look at his. The Phillies are 6-1 in his road starts on the season. The Mets are 6-1 on Dickey's home starts this season. So I'm not sure I want to take any part in the side here, but there may be some value on the total, especially if we see that 6.5.
The Mets, are playing good ball. They're just returning from a West Coast road trip. They won 4 of the last 5 or 5 of the last 6 on that road trip. So they're playing good baseball. And an interesting stat on Philadelphia, and you mentioned it right before we went on air. Philadelphia's been an over team most of the season, and in division games this year, 27 division games, 18 of the 27 have gone over the total. So especially in the division games, a 2-to-1 ratio for the over. Couple that with the all-star, jinx theory there. If one pitcher gives me, just a semi-performance, I think we get the over. If Vegas accommodates us because of the hype of Dickey and the all-star game, we could see this 6.5. And then, like you said, I'm really going to like the over in this one. So anything you want to add to it?
That's about all I have. You've stolen all my thunder with your stats.
Good. I'm glad your wife emailed them to me this morning.
Well, somebody's got to do your work for you.
All right. He's Bryan Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. When you're watching this one, 4th of July will be already over, but we taped this on Monday. So everybody, hope you had a happy and safe 4th of July. We're going to be back here taping in the studios on Thursday. Brian's going to be back with Scott Spreitzer. They'll do all the weekend action for you, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games. Stay tuned all week long, pregame.tv. Thanks for watching.